Hello everyone, good morning, welcome to the Redmen TV. It is team news time. It's Liverpool versus Burnley back at Anfield, a full crowd, and it feels like there's only me, Tom and Errol that aren't there. We're fine about it, honestly, we're fine. In this hand I have the team that's going to start, in this hand I have the team that will be on the bench, or the people that will be on the bench rather. Going to get straight into it because there's some exciting things happening in this side. In goal, Alisson Becker. Left back, Kostas Tsimikas. Centre backs, Big Virgil keeps his place, obviously, because he's the best defender in the world. And next to him is one Joel Matip. Nice little partnership there. Right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Central midfield. Now this is where it gets interesting. Obviously, there is no Fabinho. I may as well say this right now while I've mentioned him. Our thoughts are, myself and everyone at Redmen TV are with him. He won't be starting this game or taking any part after his dad died earlier on in the week. But one man returning to the side is Mr. Jordan Henderson. Who's he with? Who do you think he's with? Naby Keita. Liking the look of this so far? Here's a little surprise for you. Harvey Elliott starts. Oh yes. That man is going to destroy Burnley by himself. Up top, we have Sadio Mane, Diogo Jota, and on the right, Mohamed Salah. A couple of talking points. Myself and I will get into a few more of these in a second, but I think centre-back is obviously the one. Lots of question marks, lots of shouts for Konate. I saw in Chris's show that he did earlier on this week, should Konate start? He's big, he's physical. I'm not seeing the Burnley team yet, but obviously, you know, they like to lump balls forward at times, up to Chris Wood and stuff. Konate looks like he's that big physical presence, but I do think it's important you start this man while he's fit. You know, you get limited time with Joel Matip. His form is good. He was great. He was brilliant against Norwich. This partnership I quite liked. So some long balls over the top from Joel Matip. His little mazy runs to go through the Burnley midfield and defence and attack. I'm completely fine with that. I suspect maybe, and this is just me throwing it out there, that Jordan Henderson might not have started this game, or he might have played where Harvey Elliott is if Fabinho had been fit. Of course, we had to rejig things a little bit, but I think him, you know, being able to drop deep into these positions, allowing Trent to go forward and Tsimikas to cover, he knows what he's doing in that defensive midfield position. So I think we're sound there. If Burnley do go on a counter-attack or the attack with the ball. And then this bit, this is quite naughty. I quite like this. You know, all those times that we played, you know, low block sides in Burnley and Brighton and West Brom and all those anti-football teams of, we need a creative midfielder. We need it. Well, we've got two. One's technically not a midfielder, but he can play that position. So, you know, two banks of four. This man can ghost past and play little nice through balls, give and goes. Harvey Elliott, not afraid to shoot from outside the box, as we saw in pre-season. I think he was just warming up that time, but he hit the post, and I think it's going to happen. Up top, again, the big debate was, does Jota keep his place? Does Bobby come back in? Maybe got one eye on Chelsea as well, but I don't think it's you know, a massive argument either way. You know, if Bobby started, I'd be quite happy, but I'm quite happy with Diogo Jota. Obviously, he was a nice presence against Norwich. He did that little Luis Suarez run before Todd Cantwell tried to kick his leg off, but how can you say to him, you're not starting this game when he was so good against Norwich? I also like the fact, as discussed on one of the shows earlier this week, I think it was Chris that mentioned, have him running around for 60, 70 minutes, tie the Burnley defence out, and then you bring Bobby on. I'll get onto the bench right now. So we start with Caoimhin Kelleher. And just in case he can't come on, we've got another goalkeeper in Adrian. Ibrahim Konate is on the bench. Thiago is on the bench. Bobby Firmino is on the bench. Joe Gomez. Curtis Jones is on the bench. Taki Minamino is on the bench. And this one, Andy Robertson. What is he doing? He's supposed to be injured. But no, he's been back in running. He's been doing like straight runs outside training. He's been back in full training from next week, so I don't think we'll see him. But it's a massive boost for me to see him there, particularly with Chelsea, you know, ahead of the weekend. Tsimikas, I think we can all agree, was really good against Norwich. We've been impressed with him in pre-season. We've been impressed because we've actually been able to see him play physical games of football and not James Milner telling him to go away. Robertson's a massive boost. Now it'll be interesting to see where he gets to 10-15 minutes, a little run out ahead of Chelsea, because I think that'll be massive. As I said, Tsimikas has been brilliant in pre-season against Norwich. I think he'll impress me today, but is it a different kettle of fish when you're playing the likes of Chelsea and their attacking force? So that is a team. Get your thoughts coming in the comments. I want to throw you over to Errol and his thoughts right now, and I'll be back in a second.
Bro, I am excited. This is a lovely, lovely first team of the season to play with, you know, for our guys to go out at Anfield with just rework side. You know, we've struggled with the low block sides in recent times, really, but you know, the likes of Elliott and Keita on the pitch today, they are perfect for this type of game, I think. I love the fact, you know, everyone in the comments is screaming about Elliott as well, so I think they share the same level of excitement as me. And the other thing that I've noticed in the comments is the strength of the bench. Yep. Everybody seems pretty pleased with that. I know in recent times people have and ahed about whether do we have enough squad depth and is the bench ever going to be strong enough, can he really change a game? But you've got the likes of Thiago that can really control the pace of a game and set that tempo, and likewise you've got Firmino, as you were saying there, after 65 minutes he can just come on against Burnley's tired legs and he can just produce some of Bobby's magic. So I'm really excited about this game, a full packed Anfield to bring that atmosphere back. I think, you know, if he was in the ground, you're definitely going to have, you know, goosebumps if in the coming minutes towards the game. And I'm just excited to see exactly what the lads can produce, really.
I think the biggest talking point out with me for that is Harvey Elliott. Now, we're all really excited for him. This is going to be his first Premier League start in a packed Anfield. I think there's a lot of expectancy on him, but I think he backs himself to produce the goods. That's part of the reason why I quite like him. We did some of the pre-season games, and he's been impressive in all of them, and he's been playing that midfield role. Yeah. The only interesting thing was, I think Salah went off in one of them, and he moved to the right flank, so, you know, there's options with him there. But this is huge for him, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, if anyone's in Liverpool and about Liverpool today, you know it's not a very nice day. It's a bit rainy, but for a footballer's perspective, you love that you soak up those moments when, you know, the ball can run a little bit quicker on the pitch. And I just think he's the type of kid that he'll just go for it. And like we said a few times in, you know, the pre-season, he's an unknown quantity from a threat point of view from opposition teams. Burnley can do their homework. I don't particularly think we will struggle against low block sides early in the season because they're not up to speed with how we're playing yet. Yeah. So we can still have that element of surprise and catch them off guard. But when you have that element of surprise with a fluid squad, but then on top of that you're bringing in these, I wouldn't say not necessarily new in Keita in that sense, but a fit Keita that's got a little bit of form. He's got minutes in his legs. That's gotta be, you know, bode well for the lads.
I'd equal Keita to what I said about John Matip when I was over there before. If, you know, although frustration, anxiety about Liverpool's season and our squad and our squad depth is, it's always had that caveat of if he can stay fit. If he can stay fit. And I've said Joel Matip, you're playing while he's fit, and we're not playing 3 games a week, so he can afford to do that. I suspect the same as with Naby Keita as well, of going, well, he's fit and available, like you've just said there, he's in form. He's on the pitch. I think if he, you know, last season if he was fit and available, he's one of the first names on the team sheet for me.
Yeah, he's got to be, and I think this is, again, we've said it, you know, countless times now. This is a big season for Naby, so the more games where when he is fit, we can utilise him, and you know he still hasn't got like a full 90, but getting closer to that target, you just know we know what we can expect to see from him. We know he's got that little turn, he's got that little drop of shoulder, he's got great control, and it's that press. Like pressing Burnley high up the pitch today for us is what I making them make mistakes in their third of the pitch. I think that's probably what's going to get us a few goals, and I'm just hoping today that, you know, the likes of Harvey Elliott, the likes of Naby Keita can really shine in that midfield. He'll have the anchor of Jordan Henderson there. He'll be, you know, he never stops talking, do you know what I mean? He'll talk them through the game. We've got a strong spine. This is a really good spine for our team at the moment, and I'm just excited to see what it's like with the fans back at Anfield as well, to be fair.
Yeah, just in terms of the people that aren't there, there's a lot of people asking in the comments. I'll get to some of them in a second. Obviously, I've got Ian Doyle here, Robertson on the bench, which I think would even agree is ready for a start. Fabinho obviously absent, which I explained. James Milner has a knock. No Ox, Origi, Phillips, Shaqiri, and the 2 Williams. Now, for me, there, Errol, some of them aren't really a shock, but one that I think will be to most people, and maybe get some clarification as the day goes on, is no Oxlade-Chamberlain, because you kind of think as a senior player, he was really good against, I can't remember, was it Athletic Bilbao that he played, or Osasuna, one of those two games, and he was amazing. Norwich, I don't think he was that great, if we're being honest. I'm not sure that midfield was a bit dysfunctional, it wasn't really his fault. But when he's seen Harvey Elliott, an 18-year-old lad, getting in ahead, and then Elliott's not even on the bench, the likes of, you know, Taki Minamino. Maybe there isn't, I'm maybe looking too much into this, but does that surprise you a little bit?
It does a little bit, but I think in terms of Klopp's he's got no need to rush any of these players right now. Do you know what I mean? He's got a lot of time to work with them and get their game down to a T. And I think the likes of Ox, if anything, this should give him a little bit more motivation. he would have been desperate to get in front of an Anfield crowd for our first home game of the season. It's not happened. So how do you respond to that? What will be more interesting for me is that response. Yeah. Does he come back now hungry to prove a point next time he gets minutes on the pitch? And the levels that we've seen him play at before, it wouldn't surprise me, even towards the tail end of last season, the little moments that he was getting and opportunities, he was kind of just taking them with both hands. So I wouldn't be overly critical, and I wouldn't read too much into it. He's put out a strong squad.
Someone's just made a really good comment on this. Where's it gone? Natural Red says, is Ox having a baby? I don't think he is, but his wife is.
Yeah, so that's probably the other thing as well. Yeah, that might be into consideration at the moment.
And if they are, we wish them the best of luck for Redmen TV. 100%. Someone said, can we show them the bench? I've got the team news up here just to refresh it. So I'll just read through it again. Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Tsimikas, Jordan Henderson will be in the DM, Keita, Elliott in midfield, Mane, Salah, Jota, subs are Adrian, Kelleher, Konate, Thiago, Firmino, Gomez, Jones, Minamino and Robertson. And when you're talking about that depth, just before we get to some of the comments, Errol, is that thing of, again, when we play these low block sides instead of the creative midfield that everyone's kind of asking for, if something's not working this time, okay, we'll just bring Thiago on. Do you know what I mean? Or we'll just bring Curtis Jones on and try something different. Liverpool got that ability. We're talking about the spine and stuff like that, but so many times where we would just pass it left to right and then someone doesn't have a shot, we cross it in and there's 50 people inside the box, it gets cleared, they have a counter-attack. Yeah. That was the blueprint how to beat Liverpool. Whereas now, okay, something's not working, I'll just bring Bobby Firmino. Well, like, looking at Liverpool's squad now, it makes me confident ahead of the season. I'm confident ahead of this game that we've got options.
Yeah, 100%. And, I think when the Burnley lads see that team sheet today, they're looking, thinking, well, it's going to be slim pickings.
Yeah.
There aren't going to be those holes that we could have exposed, maybe at points last season. But from our perspective, having that extra firepower off the bench where you can look at that and you can see, well, that's a rich squad, that, you know what I mean? Like, there's value in that bench there, the likes of Robertson now, Joe Gomez, Konate, there's nearly £100 million worth of just the defenders, but we know that both of those lads in centre-backs can provide aerial threats in the opposition's box. Robbo's always good for an assist here and there, do you know what I mean? He's always a threat going forward. The likes of a Thiago, who will pull the strings, he'll set the tempo. Even if we're up, I can see these Burnley, if we're winning this game and we're cruising, I can see these Burnley lads chasing shadows this afternoon just because we have the opportunity to bring on a Thiago. We will just say, well, you're not getting the ball off me. And
imagine the mentality of a Burnley player getting ragged around for 70 minutes and then Thiago comes on just going, what's the point?
Yeah.
Let's just pack it in. While we've mentioned them, let's just go through the Burnley team. I've got up here on screen. Pope, Lowton, Tarkovsky, me and Taylor make up the back five. Goodmanson, Brownhill and Cork. McNeil make up the midfield. And Wood and Barnes up top. That just screams to me, Errol, of I hope Burnley gets hard with this kind of like
Route 1 and lump it.
Yeah, and I think some of it is unfair, but I think that is one of their options. But this is what it comes back to, having centre backs like Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip in there, and this probably would have helped with Fabinho as well. You can try that. It's not the same as last season of who up to Reece Williams and Nat Phillips. Well, maybe not Nat Phillips actually, because
nobody
there's no point in doing that. But having those options there, but also you can play the high line. And then they've got the pace to recover as well. I'm not sure, rightly or wrongly, Wood and Barnes are blessed with pace. So even defensively, whatever Burnley kind of try, I'm confident that we've got the players and the people in there to counter it.
Well, so I said it's going to be slim pickings for them this afternoon. We're going to have to not be up to scratch or up to standard to really give Burnley any sort of chance in this game. And I hope that's not the case. I hope we just kind of go out there with the kind of intensity that we met Norwich with the other day and was really up for it. I think the crowd probably plays a big factor in this. So big up everyone who's in Anfield today, because your energy is going to be needed in terms of galvanising the team to just keep driving forward. But the only thing that they can do is play to their strengths. They haven't seen enough of this Liverpool side this season to really say, oh, well, we've got a blueprint of where their holes are or what we can do and kind of, set pieces that we could work on. They haven't had enough time to really establish that. So playing them at this point in the season probably plays into our hands, especially at home. And if we can...
That's the thing. It's not just when you first go 12:30 lunchtime kick-off against Burnley, you kind of go, yeah, I really don't fancy that. But I think you're right, having the home advantage. And sometimes the crowd can die down a bit after 10-15 minutes, because that's how Burnley play. It won't be won't be nullify Liverpool, it'll be nullify the crowd. Whereas I think we're a different beast now. But also someone else mentioned on the build-up, this is going to be a slight revenge if they ended our 62, 63 unbeaten run at Anfield. Whereas some of these players are going to be pissed, aren't they? And equally, I've mentioned this a few times, you look at the bench, if someone doesn't perform or isn't doing their ability, if Keita, for example, or Harvey Elliott's not having a good game,
I
will switch it up, but then they know in their minds that they might not play the next game because you have to be in. There's options there, and they'll just get replaced. Welcome to G, who's just become my first team member on the YouTube. Thank you very much for joining up with us today. Loads of people are saying Burnley are going to get relegated and Ox is having a baby. We're going to get into some score predictions and some other bits when we come back and we do the watch along. And
make sure you watch
points that you think's worth there. Taki Minamino, surprise inclusion on the bench.
Do you know what though? No, not really. I think again he's another side where his little touches and deft touches that he can do, he's got that ability to kind of just drop a shoulder and beat a man in tight spaces. And if you need that off the bench as an option, it's another threat that I don't think last season we probably was able to utilise enough of. I think with him having that time now to kind of be properly assimilated into this squad, having more again for him when he came. There wasn't, it was only a couple of games before everything stopped and he wasn't able to see what the Anfield atmosphere was like. I know he played against us, but it's not the same when they're cheering your name as opposed to kind of booing you every touch you get on the ball. So I think it'll be good for him because as part of his journey, he needs these kind of experiences. He's not a young player, but he's young in this league. So I'm happy to see him on the bench really, and if he gets a bit of game time, it's even better. Yeah.
One final player I do want to talk about is Kostas Tsimikas. I know I mentioned before he was impressive against Burnley till about 60 minutes, and then he just got absolutely knackered, which may be the reason why Robertson's on the bench, but also mentality-wise, I don't think it's a bad thing of him seeing Robertson on the bench because Klopp could go into him preparing for the game and go, you're going to play 80 minutes and you're going to have next week off to give me everything. And again, maybe Burnley's another leveling test for him. I think Robertson will more than likely play that one. But, if Burnley do play long balls or a bit more physical, it's another level of adjustment for Tsimikas, so it's a good test for him.
Yeah, 100%. And it's again, you're the understudy and the lead is on the bench watching you. That in itself is a little bit of pressure. It's one thing when, the lads are bandaged up and, wrapped in cotton wool back at home watching on the TV, but you'll be hearing that Scottish voice telling you what to do when you're on the ball and stuff and telling you when to get back into position. So I think that's good. It's good encouragement for him. And I think, it bodes well, the fact that if he can get, maybe if we can see him performing with the same sort of intensity around 65 to 70, 80 minutes this week, I think again it just shows that he is taking steps forward in the way that he's playing.
Yeah, just a couple more comments before we go. Rob D says it's 4:32 a.m. too early for a beer. If anything, I think it's a bit late, isn't it?
Is.
Oh, so the players are going
out there. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, my man.
Yeah, of course it is. And then someone says, DGN 4369 says, why is the two goalkeepers on the bench? That's
There's two goalkeepers for them, I'm sure, on their bench as well.
But also, where's Origi? Where is Nat Felix? Maybe they're on the move, maybe they're not. There's less than 2 weeks to go in the transfer window, so hopefully we'll find out. Easy Scott 99 says, do you reckon Elliott will score?
I'd love to see him score. I'd love to see how he'd celebrate if he scored in a game like this today. I just think it'd be amazing. But I just want him to perform with confidence, focus on his game, and do what he knows that he's capable of doing. And there's going to be chances there for him. There's definitely going to be chances there for him. I don't want to jinx the kid, but you just go and smash it, lad.
Good. Right, very good. If you just joined us, we're going to get off in a second, but let's go through the team one more time because this is what you are here for. Alisson Becker, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip, Van Dijk and Tsimikas, Jordan Henderson, Naby Keita, Harvey Elliott, Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, Diogo Jota, and then the bench is Adrian, Kelleher, Canate, Thiago, Firmino, Gomez, Jones and Minamino. Oh, and Andy Robertson as well.
Can we go top of the league if we win this today?
Yeah, we can do. For a couple of hours we can do that, but again, look at that, see Anfield's getting packed. I'm gutted I'm not there. I'm very happy for everybody that it is.
It looks like they've got in without any troubles though. People see it is getting
packed told to be there at 6 o'clock this morning. Oh no, there is queues outside actually. Hopefully we'll have more on that. Hopefully there won't be any delays towards the game, but if there is, you can join us anyway. We'll be back at 12:15 for the watch on. Please do join us. Get your score predictions coming in the comments. I'll get to some of them before the game starts. And we'll see you at 12:15. We've got a belting competition on at the minute. If you want to subscribe to Club Legend level at theredmentv.com. We've got a Jordan Henderson. Obviously, we've done the documentary. We released a book. So within this box, limited edition box, which isn't for sale, you can't buy it anywhere, is a book, is a DVD, is a poster, is a mug, is a t-shirt, is a pin badge, and lots of cut up red cardboard thing that you just mess with. Paul's prepared a little video. Hey, look, we'll see you back at 12:15 for the watch long. Bye.
Hey, what's happening? Competition time. Phenomenal, world class, completely exclusive prize for you guys this month. It is a Jordan Henderson 10 years of red commemorative box. These are not for sale anywhere anywhere. You cannot buy these. It has got the book in there. It has got the DVD of the series in there. There is a t-shirt, there is a mug, there is a poster as well. You literally, it's a money can't buy prize, and you can win it by signing up to the redmentv.com, a Club Legend level over there as well, or by upgrading your existing subscription to Club Legend as well. It's as simple as that. Not only do you get that incredible competition prize, but you get amazing content streamed exclusively for you each and every month. Documentaries, features, interviews, and bonus Redmen TV shows as well. It is a wonderful experience. It's like Netflix for Reds, and yes, in addition to all that, of course, you get to join our Discord group, which is full of wonderful club legends like yourself, and enter into those competitions each and every month. Join up now, enter the competition to win the Hendo 10 Years of Red exclusive commemorative box, and good luck.